So morning of the race, or really actually on Wednesday, that same day, they said or made a change to the race, and they said it was going to be a time trial as opposed to a mass start. And so that was unexpected. We thought it might happen just because of COVID regulations. But at the last second, they changed it. So I made the decision that since I wanted to be or have less people to pass on the bike, that I was going to try to be the first person in the water. Whether that was a smart decision or not, I don't know. I know that there were several people that, ran me over after I first jumped in the water. But I do feel like it gave me a better position. But nonetheless, so that morning I did line up and I got to be the first person in the water. So one of the things I did right before the race was I used a different pair of goggles that I was having problems sighting, because on the one stretch, it was about 750 meters from buoy to buoy. And so I was having problems sighting and being able to see all the way down to the far buoy. So I, last second, switched my goggles as to which ones I was going to use during the race. So anyway, so I line up, I'm first person, ready to go in the water, thinking I'm a fool for wanting to be the first person in. And so I go to jump in. The first thing that happened was my goggles fell off. So of course I had to stop, put my goggles back on, took off again, realized after about 4 or 5 strokes that they were still full of water. So I had to dump the water out of them again, finally got them clean. And I was swimming, and probably within about 15 seconds or so, I had 3 different swimmers go completely over the top of me. So of course that was a little unsettling, just never having done an open water swim like that in a race. But probably I would say about 200 meters in or so is about when I finally convinced myself to calm down and focus on the techniques that you and I had been working on, everything I'd trained on in the pool, all the open water training. And I finally got my heart rate to stabilize, and everything went really well from that part forward. I really felt like I was, doing a lot of the things you and I had talked about as far as high elbow and, just trying to make sure I'm not looking at the sky, that I'm looking horizontally across the water when I'm breathing and not dropping my arm too much and all that. And so I was just really hyper focused on a lot of the technique the whole time I was swimming, and I remember one of the only other things that really came up was just thinking how long the swim was, even though it's the shortest part of the triathlon. It just seemed like it was forever, but nonetheless, I made it to the end and jumped up on the bank and took off towards transition and never looked at my watch. And as soon as I ran into transition, I looked at my watch and it said just over 24 minutes. And I remember thinking, what did I mess up? Did I not start my watch at the right time? Or there's no way that time is right. Because I'd originally set a goal for 27 minutes. And I was thinking there's no way I swam a sub 24, on this race. Anyway, later at the end of the race, I looked at the results and realized that I had swam a 23:45. So I was blown away.
That's unreal.
I was able to do that.